When I was a little kid, I used to wonder why about everything. What I had to do in school, what was going on around me in nature. I just wanted to know why about everything. I drove my third grade teacher crazy by wondering and asking, why do we have to memorize the multiplication tables? And she said, what? I'm not supposed to have to explain that. And she finally had to explain it, and then I said, okay, that makes sense, and I memorized it. But I was always curious, about what's behind things, what's the reason for them. And likewise, I was always wondering what's possible. Because as I got older, I realized there's a lot of suffering going on in the world, and I really didn't like that happening so much, and I wanted to know what are the possible solutions to that. And then when I was in my teens, in the early and mid 60s, I got in really bad shape health-wise. I had some serious health issues, and very well-meaning doctors were trying to fix them, and they were making me worse and worse, sinking into the drug and surgery routine, that has generally very bad outcomes in the long run. And I decided, look, this is not good. It's going to get a lot worse, and I could end up destroying my body following these guys. And I dumped the medical system in the mid 60s and mid to late 60s, and that was it. And I went away and I decided I wanted to find out what's going on with health and everything connected to it. Why is everybody falling apart when they get past a certain age, and it's called normal aging? And it didn't seem normal at all to me. I felt like we're not a tractor or something. We know how to, our body knows how to rebuild itself. Why does it fall apart? Why do people get sick? What's going on with that? And all these degenerative diseases, and just feeling worse and worse once you're past a certain age, and everything goes downhill, and you lose cognitive ability, and just get out of touch with everything, feel weak, and your joints hurt, and all this horrible stuff. I don't think that's normal. I don't think that's a good thing to have happen in what they call the golden years, right? Really bad deal. So over the decades, I did some digging. And in 1975, when I was about 10 years into this experimental research, I came across the Essenes Gospel of Peace, Book 1 in particular, which you can read anytime you want on the internet. Just punch it into a search engine. And it matched with some old memory that I have, a partial memory of some past times before this lifetime. I'm sorry if that sounds strange, that's just how it was. And I started experimenting with what was in that book right away, basically how to regenerate your physical body, and an introduction to some tools of consciousness with a different understanding of things. So I started experimenting with that. I spent the next 40 years really playing with it and seeing how it could work in today's environment, which is very different than what the Essenes were dealing with 2,000 years ago. And during the last 20 years of that research, I also did an in-depth investigation into the power structure that's been in charge of the world for a long time, thousands and thousands of years. And I found out what they're doing to us now, what they have planned, why they're doing it, how they're doing it, how all these little sub-agendas that they're controlling fit together into one kind of master agenda. And the goal that they're moving toward is destruction is not a side effect that's unintended. It's what they want. They intend to destroy the whole biosphere. And I'm sorry to be so blunt, and I know that is going to be hard for a lot of people to understand or even imagine, but that's the camouflage there behind, is that normal people wouldn't imagine that anybody would want to do this stuff. But that's what's happening. And so this ties together the geoengineering, the chemical agriculture, the drug medicine, the fluoridation in the water, all this stuff that's being done to us at once. It's all coming from the same source. And that gave me more motivation to look into not only how do you get to the forbidden information on health, which is kept away from us right now. We're we're made to think we have to fall apart gradually over time. That's not true. And what they call normal aging is not necessary. There's a lot of things you can do to reverse it. But doctors are being killed in the US and elsewhere for trying to expose even little bits of this information. And what I had put together was much more comprehensive and connected with consciousness tools that you can use to take it further once you get rid of the health issues. Because what I really want, besides giving you the means to change your personal situation, how you feel, how your body works, I mean, there's a lot that can be done with that. You're not supposed to know. I've put a lot of it together and I want to share it with you, but not just that. Ultimately, I'm hoping that a certain number of us that use this information and put it into practice in our own lives will also start learning the deeper aspects, because we have abilities that have been forgotten that would allow us to literally change what's going on in the world and reverse it. So if our rulers want to create hell on earth, which they do, as a preliminary step toward extermination of life, which they also intend, well, great, let's just do the opposite. Let's make heaven on earth and make this a great place for our kids and other generations that are wanting to follow them, not have it destroyed. Make it really great. Bring a magical reality that people think can't ever happen. Let's let it happen. And we have the means to do that. You're walking around with power, healing power in particular, that is way beyond imagination. It's the biggest fear of our rulers that you would ever become aware of that. So that's exactly what I'm suggesting. Let's not just become aware of it, let's use it. That's what Planetary Healing Club is about. It's real and it's serious. People have asked me, why are there dues? Why isn't it not free? Well, it's the only thing we're really doing right now to raise any funds to try to keep this work going. And if there's enough, if we get all the people into the club that I think would benefit from it and raise enough from the dues, we'll build a school. And that's the ulterior motive, so now you know what we're trying to accomplish on the financial side. But aside from that, what we do in the club is I can share with you in that private environment the full magnitude of what I've learned in the last 53 plus years of investigation into all these things. Not just what's going on in the world, but the countermeasures and the ways to reverse them, starting with you, because that's where the power lies. You have to get, at least I suggest that you get your health back, get your energy back, your vitality, make it so that you feel really, really good from the inside out every day, regardless of what's going on around you. Because we're always running around trying to feel good and become happy by certain things happening around us, circumstances and behavior of other people or things like that. Your happiness and your super good energy is supposed to come from inside you. That's what this is about. And physical health improvement goes along with consciousness opening and becoming reconnected to what used to be normal abilities a long, long time ago. That's what Planetary Healing Club's about. So I'm inviting you to join me there. It's a private members-only platform, and once you're in there, I'll meet you there every week. I'll be there live in person on Saturday nights, US time. But if you're in a part of the world where that time is too hard to make, that's okay. You get access to all the archives, including the latest show that was just on when you get up in the morning or whenever you want to watch it. And then if you want to participate, which I'd like you to do, watch it and then email in comments and questions and things you'd like to see covered, and we'll do that. It's an incredible opportunity for all of us to share things that are supposed to remain unknown to us, and they don't have to. And there's no obligation there. You can quit anytime you're not interested or decide you don't have time for it or anything like that. But those who are ready to do the work on themselves, if that's you, I'm talking personally to you, and you're invited. And we'll talk about a lot of things that are being hidden from humanity right now and that you can start using immediately. So, hope you're interested and ready for it, because it's not a spectator sport, it's going to be real. And I'll meet you there. Look at the link down below. It's planetaryhealingclub.com, and see you there on Saturday.